Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today, we re-diving into a significant legal case from Sri Lanka that has major implications for human rights and police accountability. This isn't just a news story. It is a powerful reminder of the protections enshrined in a nation's constitution and the judiciary's role in upholding them. We read talking about a landmark Supreme Court ruling that ordered 6 police officers to pay 1 million rupees in compensation to a man they subjected to cruel and inhuman treatment. This case sends a clear message. Abuse of power will not be tolerated. Stick around as we unpack the details of this case, what it means for the rule of law, and why it's a victory for every citizen who believes in justice and dignity. Let's set the scene. The year is 2016. The victim, an omnibus operator just trying to make a living, has a harrowing encounter with officers from the Kottawa Police Station. According to the petition filed in court, this man was forcibly made to kneel on a public street. Think about that for a moment. In broad daylight, on a public road, he was subjected to an act designed to humiliate and degrade him. This wasn't just an overstep of authority. The court would later define it as an act of torture and an egregious abuse of power. This single degrading act became the catalyst for a legal battle that would stretch on for years, a fight for justice not just for one man, but for the fundamental principle that every individual deserves to be treated with respect and dignity, especially by those sworn to protect them. This case highlights the courage it takes to stand up against injustice and seek redress through the legal system. The case eventually made its way to the highest court in the land, the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka. A 3-judge bench comprising Justice Menaka Wijayasundara, with Justices Yasanta Kodagoda and Yannick De Silva concurring, examined the evidence. Their conclusion was decisive and unambiguous. They held that the actions of the police officers, including the former officer in charge OIC of the Kottawa Police Station, were a direct violation of the petitioner's fundamental rights. Specifically, they pointed to 3 key articles of the Sri Lankan Constitution. First, Article 11, which states, "No person shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment. This is the bedrock of human dignity in the legal framework." Second, Article 12, 1, which guarantees equality before the law and equal protection of the law for all citizens. And third, Article 13, 1, which protects against arbitrary arrest and states that no person shall be arrested except according to the procedure established by law. The court found that the officers had violated all 3 of these fundamental guarantees. So, what were the consequences for the officers involved? The Supreme Court didn't just issue a declaration. It ordered tangible accountability. The 6 police officers were personally ordered to pay a total of 1 million rupees in compensation to the victim. This is a crucial detail. The financial penalty isn't coming from a general government fund. It's coming directly from the pockets of the individuals who committed the act. This principle of personal liability is designed to be a powerful deterrent. It sends a chilling message to any officer who might consider abusing their authority. Your actions have personal, financial consequences. The court is making it clear that the shield of the uniform does not provide immunity from accountability. Furthermore, the state itself was also ordered to pay an additional nominal sum, acknowledging the systemic failure to prevent such an abuse from happening. This dual approach ensures both individual responsibility and state-level acknowledgement of the wrong committed. Let's break down why this ruling is so important. This isn't just about one man receiving compensation. This is what's known as a landmark ruling. It sets a precedent. It strengthens the legal framework that protects every citizen from similar abuses. By reaffirming the constitutional protection against torture, the Supreme Court is sending a powerful message to all law enforcement agencies across the country. The message is simple. You are not above the law. The power you wield comes with immense responsibility, and any deviation to cruelty or humiliation will be met with severe judicial scrutiny. This ruling serves as a vital check on power, reinforcing the idea that a police service in a democracy must operate with professionalism, restraint, and above all, respect for the fundamental rights of the people they serve. It empowers citizens, showing them that the courts can and will act as a guardian of their rights against the might of the state. The judgment also delved into the very nature of torture. The court's interpretation is critical here. They recognize that torture isn't just about inflicting extreme physical pain. The act of forcing someone to kneel on a public street was recognized as a form of psychological torture, an act of cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment. The public nature of the act was a key factor. It was designed to strip the victim of his dignity, to humiliate him in front of his community. By classifying this as a violation of Article 11, the court broadens the understanding of what constitutes torture, acknowledging the deep and lasting psychological scars that such humiliation can cause. This is a progressive and humane interpretation of the law. It protects not just the physical body, but also the inherent dignity and self-worth of a person, which is just as, if not more, important. The ruling essentially says that an attack on a person's dignity is an attack on their fundamental rights. Another critical aspect of this case is the violation of Article 12. 1. The right to equality. The court found that the officers had treated the omnibus operator in a manner that they would not have treated others, singling him out for this degrading punishment. This arbitrary and unequal application of power is the very definition of discrimination. In a society governed by the rule of law, everyone must be treated equally by law enforcement, regardless of their profession, social standing, or any other characteristic. The police cannot be allowed to act as judge, jury, and executioner on the streets, handing out punishments based on their whims. This ruling reinforces the principle that justice must be impartial and that law enforcement officers are agents of the law, not dispensers of personal vengeance or arbitrary discipline. It's a powerful defense of the democratic ideal that all are equal before the law. And let's not forget the violation of Article 13, 1, which deals with arbitrary arrest. While the victim may not have been formally taken into custody in a police station, the act of stopping him and forcing him to kneel constituted a form of detention. It was an exercise of control and a deprivation of his liberty without any legal basis. The police officers were not following any established legal procedure. They were acting on their own authority, which is precisely what Article 13 is designed to prevent. This part of the ruling is a crucial reminder that an arrest or detention doesn't just happen within the four walls of a police station. Any act by law enforcement that unlawfully restricts a person's freedom of movement can be challenged under this article. The court's decision protects citizens from being subjected to arbitrary control by police on the streets, ensuring that any interference with a person's liberty must be justified by law. The impact of this ruling extends far beyond the courtroom. It has the potential to influence police training and internal disciplinary procedures. Law enforcement agencies in Sri Lanka will have to take note of this judgment. It is a clear directive from the highest court that the old ways of street justice are illegal and unconstitutional. This should ideally lead to better training for police officers on de-escalation techniques, professional conduct, and most importantly, the constitutional rights of citizens. It puts pressure on the police department to strengthen its internal affairs and disciplinary mechanisms to root out officers who abuse their power. Change doesn't happen overnight, but landmark rulings like this are the catalyst that drive systemic reform. They provide the legal and moral impetus for organizations to look inward and improve, ensuring that the protectors of the people do not become their oppressors. For the public, this case is a source of empowerment. It demonstrates that the legal system can work. It shows that even when faced with the authority of the state, an ordinary citizen can fight for their rights and win. This is incredibly important for public trust in the judiciary. When people see the courts holding powerful institutions accountable, it strengthens their faith in the rule of law. It encourages other victims of abuse to come forward, knowing that there is a path to justice. This ruling is a testament to the courage of the petitioner who, despite the potential risks, decided to challenge the injustice he faced. His fight has resulted in a victory not just for him, but for the rights of all Sri Lankans. It is a powerful story of how one person's stand can lead to a significant change that benefits an entire society. In conclusion, the Supreme Court's order in this Kottawa police torture case is a resounding affirmation of constitutional values and human dignity. It's a multifaceted judgment that addresses torture, equality, and arbitrary detention, holding officers personally accountable for their actions. It sets a vital precedent, serving as both a deterrent against future abuses and a beacon of hope for victims of injustice. This case is a perfect example of the judiciary acting as the ultimate guardian of fundamental rights, ensuring that no one is above the law. It's a step forward for justice, accountability, and the rule of law in Sri Lanka. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. It's these kinds of stories that remind us of the importance of a strong and independent judiciary in a healthy democracy. What are your thoughts on this ruling? Do you think it will lead to real change? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this analysis insightful, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more content like this. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.